Steph Curry may be the greatest shooter of all time, but there's still a lot you don't know about him. Being an NBA superstar generally means that the spotlight follows you wherever you go, but some players have such an interesting life that it can be hard to keep up. For a basketball star as successful as Steph Curry, and with all the entertainment he provides on the court, you might conclude that you know everything about him. However, do you really think you know everything about Steph Curry? From changing the game with his potent three-pointers to stunning teams who talk trash, Steph Curry has a lot going on. But how much do you know about him? It's safe to say you don't know everything. In fact, here are 10 things about Steph Curry you've never heard of. Number 10. He starred in a Burger King commercial as a kid. Stephen Thompson, aka the Splash Brothers, have done it all on the court, leading the Warriors to consecutive championships. This, together with Steph's easygoing personality, has made him an obvious fit for numerous companies and endorsements. Over the last couple years, different commercials have been released highlighting his comedic and acting skills. But do you know that he's been appearing in commercials even before fame and success? In the 1990s, when Curry was just 10 years old, he appeared in a Burger King ad with his father and brother. Looks like he's had acting in his blood for years, but I don't think Steph is going to quit his day job just yet. Number 9. Curry is addicted to popcorn. You probably haven't met someone as addicted to popcorn as Stephen Curry. The superstar loves it so much that he has become a stern critic of the snack. You might think, what does that even mean? Well, Curry has a ranking of popcorn in all of the NBA stadiums from the best to the worst. Yes, he rates them on a scale of 0 to 5. His criteria include crunchiness, freshness, butter, saltiness, and presentation. So according to him, which stadium has the best popcorn? That award goes to the Dallas Mavericks Stadium. Looks like Mark Cuban is doing something right. Number 8. Curry ruined the NBA game.
You can't just play the video game and shoot 3 threes. Steph Curry is screwing them up. But the real-life Steph is taking and making those terrible shots. That is not good for the game.
We are all witnesses to how the basketball game has changed over the years due to Curry's three-pointers. But did you know he actually ruined an NBA game? It all started after he got his hands on his first championship, and rather than relaxing a bit, he just went three-point crazy the next season, putting up ridiculous numbers. It was like there was a glitch in the Matrix, and gamers soon felt it, literally. While Warriors opponents couldn't handle Curry, NBA 2K developers couldn't figure him out either. Apparently, the game's developers were working on a feature that rewarded players for good shot selections and punished them for bad ones. However, this could not be done, because the kind of shots that would normally be bad selections were within Steph's range, and he was sinking them. You all know our man loves to shoot from the logos with his unlimited range. So it was either game players couldn't do stuff that was happening in real life, or the engineers would have to re-engineer the game. Needless to say, Steph was a straight bucket in that game. Number 7. Steph loves golf. Did you know that Steph is a two-sport athlete? Yep, the sharpshooter is a master on the golf course just like the court. In the off-season, Steph loves to play golf and even says it helps him with basketball because of the incredible focus and concentration the game takes. Steph plays in celebrity tournaments quite often and even sank a 97-yard shot at a tournament in July 2022, which had some of the guys on the PGA Tour thinking he has a chance to make it as a pro golfer if he really dedicated himself to the sport. What's even crazier is Steph loves the sport so much that he partnered with Callaway Golf to start programs to bring the sport to underserved youth. Number 6. Curry's eye disease. When you're a star shooter like Steph Curry, you can't afford to have any eye problems, but Curry had one, and it almost ended his career.
Blurry vision, like millions of people across the country.
During Steph's early days in the league, he was hitting three-pointers 43% of the time. It was remarkable and everyone was hyped, until suddenly he started declining. His shooting dropped as low as 36%, and while he knew something was wrong, he wasn't really bothered. After all, he still made the All-Star game. However, things took a turn for the worse as he dropped even lower to 23%. This time everyone noticed, and he knew he had to do something. So he went to see a doctor who informed him that he had an eye disease that was blurring his vision and could get worse. Luckily, he wasn't too late, as the doctors recommended he use special contacts. The result? His shooting skyrocketed to 51%. Number 5. Curry puts a player in the hospital. Curry generally comes off as a nice, harmless guy, but all that can change quickly. And when it does, you can get ridiculed, become a meme, or worse, and end up in a hospital. Really, how can he do that when he's so small? Well, it happened in the 2015 NBA Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs had an idea. They would dedicate a player to guard Steph, and it worked. Curry had one of the worst games ever, shooting 5 for 23 and missing 18 three-pointers. He also committed many turnovers in that game. We can only imagine how much he paid his mom in fines. The man of the moment was Matthew Dellavedova, and all over social media, he was praised until Game 3. Steph had revenge on his mind and came out blazing, scoring 7 threes and recording 27 points. However, Dellavedova was still in his way and even managed to score 20 points. So what happened? As it turned out, Dellavedova could not be present at the post-game press conference because he had to be rushed to the hospital. His problem? Guarding Curry dehydrated him so badly he had severe cramping. Number 4. Curry went an entire college game without scoring. You probably can't think of a game today where Steph Curry isn't only dropping multiple three-pointers, but also cooking the opponents. However, there have been a few NBA games where Curry had issues scoring, especially in games where defenses use double teams and the box-and-one defense on him. But what if I told you that Curry once played a college game and did not register a point? Yes, indeed. It was the Davidson Wildcats against Loyola, and coach Jimmy Patsos of Loyola decided to double-team Steph. In the game, Curry could only manage to put up 3 shots, but the Wildcats went on to win by 30 points even with Curry shut down. The game ended 78-48, considering that they concentrated so much on Steph. But still, college basketball is the time to impress people and showcase your talent in preparation for the NBA, so I'm sure Steph wasn't thrilled about going scoreless. He's used to cooking fools. Number 3. Steph helps a man escape execution. Through his numerous charity works, you can tell that Steph is a guy who likes to help. But after hearing of the case of Julius Jones, he went the extra mile. Apparently, Jones had been framed, for which he had spent nearly 2 decades in prison, and was facing execution. He was charged with a murder case involving a gun wrapped in a bandana found in his house. After calling Jones to hear his side of the story, Curry decided to take the issue further, supporting Julian and his family. They garnered so much publicity around the case that the execution was called off. How often do we see a player influence the basketball court as well as the court of law? Never! Number 2. Steph makes a bet to win the championship. In 2016, the Warriors were about to clinch another championship as they went 3-1 up in the series. With confidence running high, Curry bought an expensive cigar to celebrate after victory. However, LeBron James had other ideas, and the team lost the seemingly unlosable game. The team's loss meant that Curry couldn't light up, so he gave it to his friend and could only have it if the Warriors won that year's championship. As you probably know, the Warriors and Curry were simply unstoppable in 2017 when they won the championship. The chef was so anxious to burn up that he smoked on live TV after the championship win. Number 1. He shares the same birthplace with LeBron. Curry and LeBron are both NBA superstars who are destined for the Hall of Fame. But is that all they share? Apparently, not only were they born in the same city, but they also came out of their mothers in the same hospital. What are the odds?